What's a sign that a movie is going to be bad? If there are multiple trailers for a comedy movie, but they use the same joke in all of them. Critics did not receive an advance screening in order to write a review. It means the studio is hoping to at least recover an opening weekend of ticket sales before word gets out. When the commercials all have 1 or 2 word reviews. When you've basically seen the entire plot of the movie and all main scenes in the trailer. Get ready to see _______ back in action in the big screen. This line is used in many bad movie trailers of old properties which are made into movies. If the character points out something that is blatantly obvious. Directing credit goes to Alan Smithee. If it's from the studio that brought you, insert decent movie here. The near constant advertising. Usually the exact same spot played before every video on YouTube. It's been in production for too long. There's always a reason. For a recent example, Chaos Walking. It changed screenwriter, director and production company so many times over 10 years but was sold on it bin, a Charlie Kaufman movie starring Daisy Ridley and Tom Holland. Kaufman left in 2013. Ridley and Holland filmed it over years due to so many reshoots and failed screenings. Then Lionsgate said the negative reviews were shocking to them. Really? If it's being released in January. That isn't the case every time, just most of the time. If my mom called to recommend it to me. When the main actor's name is bigger than the title on the poster. When they try adding a IRL trend in the movie, it's just cringe. Has too many of what unknown critics say on the movie poster or trailer. When the trailer shows you way too much. The preview shows a girl who's just too focused on career to find love going back to her small hometown for whatever reason. An exposition in which one character explains everything that's going on to another character that should already know what is going on. When one villain wasn't enough to make a movie, so they shoehorn in multiple half-ass villains instead. Showing what is obviously the best part, climax in the trailer. If it isn't strong enough to catch my interest with the lead up, it's likely gonna suck. They said the word family 20 times in 15 minutes and it's not a movie about a mob family. Putting a director who has no idea what the source material is about. Looking at you Dragon Ball Evolution. It's directed by Uwe Boll. It's an edgy reboot of a children's property that stopped being relevant a decade ago. The simple act of me wanting to watch it pretty much makes it a bad movie. I'm like a moth to flame with bad flicks. James Corden. Shaky cam and quick cut editing. When they hype the movie's soundtrack more than the film itself. Suicide Squad. When I can tell how it's going to end by just watching the trailer. Starts with a ridiculous amount of exposition. When the movie was supposed to be a drama and they changed it during filming to a comedy. Whenever they start promoting their movie by constantly comparing it to one of the all-time greats in the genre. If you are a fantasy movie and you have to state in the advertising that you are great just like Lord of the Rings, it makes me think your movie is probably shit. Because you are not LOTR. If it opens with a narration starting with, I know what you're thinking. It just screams desperation from a crowded writer's room. Edit. Asterisk in a drama, asterisk. Ragnarok and Megamind have a tongue-in-cheek tone. But some movies do it without irony. Like Raya did recently. A comedian who hasn't been funny in 10 years stars in it and plays multiple roles. Looking at you Sandler, Murphy, and Myers. It's clearly being released in a desperate attempt to capitalize on a different studio success. WB keeps trying to rival the MCU with DC films, but their meddling repeatedly ruins them. Also, the Divergent series trying too hard to be Hunger Games. It's a sequel, prequel, spin-off that stars none of the major pullers from the first one. G.I. Joe. Blatantly bad recasting to the point where you wonder if it would have been better to just drop the character. Mummy 3. Miracle Resurrection plot devices because they couldn't think of any way to make a new character. Instead, WW84. F&F. It has anything to do with Steven Seagal. When it is 10 minutes in and you have said, "What the asterisk UCK?" under your breath 5 or more times. When the opening credits tell you a really interesting story. When the opening scene involves a shootout with so many cuts you literally cannot see what is happening. Or who is shooting at whom. When the narrator sounds bored. The female lead gets naked in the first 10 to 15 minutes. You know they were already running on fumes for plot. So out come the tush. If the whole synopsis is a terrible idea, like making a movie about emojis. More than 3 production house graphics before the opening credits. Written by the director of. Reviews state that it's scariest, funniest movie of the year. It rarely is rampant fat jokes. Its cast is overstuffed with stars. E.g. Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, He's Just Not That Into You, Little Fockers, etc., which is typically done to compensate, distract the audience from all of the suckiness. Any movie can be good. Oh, they're making a Lego movie? Cynical cash grab. And it's brilliant. Remember Roger Ebert's rule. Go into every movie wanting it to be good. When 2 guys are in the front seat of a car. And they look at each other and yell, "Ah!" Quote. You know that movie sucks. How much a trailer reveals can often be telling. Too many commercials on TV. Coupled with starting the promotion 4 weeks before the premiere equals bad movie. The CGI character is in riding a car with the useless cardboard human protagonist. My wife pauses it so I can explain what's going on. Every other commercial on TV is a trailer for it. When they need to save the world, but it's just America. When they show 80% of the action in the trailer.